Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Ma'am Liz, your English instructor. So today I'll be discussing about globalization, the different signs of globalization, its advantages and disadvantages. But before I proceed, if this is your first time to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell for more infos and updates on contemporary world, purposive communication, and English grammar. Thank you. Now let us define globalization. So, globalization is the process of bringing people together and making them interact and exchange ideas across traditional borders. The world, driven largely by advances in technology, has become interconnected across distances and other boundaries. It is also the increasing economic, political, and cultural integration and interdependence of diverse culture. Well, as you can see in the picture above, there is a possibility of connecting to people across border and share everything that may help their economy progress. Technological advancement became our bridge to transact, to communicate, and even to become a globalized country. So, globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, culture, and population brought about by cross border trade and goods in services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information. So it means that there is a speed up of movements in exchange of human beings, goods, capital, technologies, and even cultural practices all over the world. So my question to you is this: are you already globalized? Or is our country globalized already? So were you able to connect with people across border? Do you have family abroad who is or who are working for years and even a decade? Have you tasted some food coming from different foreign countries? Were you able to adapt some of the cultures of different people coming from different parts of the world? Are you also technology savvy? Or were you able to use different gadgets imported from different countries? Well, if the answer or if your answer is yes, or partly yes, then you are already globalized, or our country is already globalized. Okay, so globalization can mean the formation of global village. When we say global village, it is closer contacts between different parts of the world, increasing possibilities of personal exchange, mutual understanding, and friendship between world citizens. So it is also the idea that the internet, modern travel, and modern ways of doing business make it possible to deal with the whole world as if all areas of it were local. So you know what? Everyone now has the access to any information they like. They can learn anything, contact anyone, and contact business partners all over the world, or can even transact business across borders, where these people can build their business brand and everything at the comfort of their couch. So it's like, even if you stay at home, you can connect with people and things are possible through internet connection. Just like what is happening today. This new normal makes this global village formation. You can connect with people by having a single link. You can get all the details, propose your business, share the benefits of the products, and all. So, this is how technology drives the lives of the people. And this is what we call the global village. So, what are the different signs of globalization? Number one, increase in international trade. Two, increase in international flow of capital, including foreign direct investment. Number three, greater transborder data flow using such technologies such as the internet, communication satellites, and telephones. Now, when we say transborder data flow, it is also called as the cross-border data flow. So according to wikia.org, it is defined as the flow of electronic data across political boundaries, such as between states or countries, a process which can cause legal conflicts, such as who owns a particular piece of information and who may use it. So it is also defined as the movement or transfer of information between computer servers across national borders. Such data flows enable people to transmit information for online communication, track global supply chains, share research, provide cross border services, and support technological innovation. So another signs of globalization are the following. The next one is spreading of multiculturalism and better individual access to cultural diversity. With, on the other hand, some reduction in the diversity through assimilation, hybridization, westernization, Americanization, or Sinicization of culture. Now, when we say assimilation, it means process of adapting or adjusting to the culture of a group or nation. When we say hybridization, it is the process which a cultural element or characteristics blends into another culture by changing the element to fit in the cultural practices. So, example of hybridization is the global restaurant chains like the KFC and McDonald's. So they modify their menus to suit to the taste of the different cultures. Example, in India, due to the religious restrictions on eating beef, Maharaja Maharaja Mac is their McDo Big Mac made with chicken and veggie patty. So this is according to sociologydictionary.org. And then when we say Americanization, that is the adoption of the American culture. And then Westernization is the adoption of what we call European culture, like their lifestyle, their norms, and their tradition as well. And then another sign is the greater international travel and tourism. And then greater international cultural exchange, for example, through the export of Hollywood and Bollywood movies. Now, when we say Bollywood movies, these are the Hindi cinema. Okay? Hindi cinema, or formerly known as the Bombay cinema. It's a combination of the Bombay cinema and the Hollywood movies. Okay? That is why it is called as the Bollywood. And then even here in the Philippines, okay, we have this what we call uh, exchange of teleseries, okay, or the series that we are watching. Let's say, for example, the Pangako Sa'yo here in the Philippines, that is being aired to other country. So here in the Philippines, we have a lot of Korean series that the Filipinos are very fond of watching it. So that is the greater intercultural exchange, okay? Because by watching those, you will know the different cultures of those countries, okay, or the people who are living in that country. So another signs of globalization, we have greater immigration, including illegal immigration. The next one is the development of global telecommunications infrastructure. And you can see that here in the Philippines. And then development of a global financial systems and the increase in the share of the world economy controlled by multinational corporations. And now here is my question. Do you think the Philippines is already globalized? So let's find out. Okay, now the country is taking part in the process of globalization ever since the country signed agreements with World Trade Organization in 1995. Okay, so this means that the Philippines is already globalized. Now, globalization is very effective here in the Philippines. It has allowed major changes in the nation like more labor and more Filipino and foreign companies has emerged in the nation in order to help the country's developing economy. Now, here in the Philippines, we have a lot of call centers in every part of our country. And of course, the owners are the foreign investors, and having these provide more jobs to Filipinos, which is a very big help to our economy or to our country. And now, what are the advantages of globalization? So, the first one is peaceful relations. Most of the countries have resorted to trade relations with each other in order to boost their economy, leaving behind any bitter past experiences, if there is any. Now, no matter what experiences of a country had, development of the economy will be the first priority. So this will only happen if a country has a peaceful relation and connection to other country, most especially to those who are developed already or developed countries. Now, the second one is employment. It is considered as one of the most crucial advantages. Globalization has led to generation of numerous employment opportunities. Companies are moving towards the developing countries to acquire labor force. Now, because of globalization, there are many companies who are investing here in the Philippines, and we are one of those developing countries. And definitely, this will provide more jobs to Filipino people. So, the third advantage of globalization is education. A very critical advantage that has aided the population is the spread of education. With numerous educational institutions around the globe, one can move out from one country for better opportunities elsewhere. So, you know what? I have two friends who are working also in TUP, and they have this opportunity to continue their higher degree education in Taiwan. So, this, of course, a lot of opportunities to excel in their field. And then another example for this is the virtual education. So this also gives opportunities to everybody. You can see Korean kids or Chinese kids who are being taught by Filipino teachers virtually. And with the technological advancement, even at the comfort of your home, people can learn and can study in the different schools or centers around the world. So the next advantage is the product quality. The product quality has been enhanced so as to retain the customers. Today, the customers or the consumers may compromise with the price range but not with the quality of the product. Low or poor quality can adversely affect consumer satisfaction. Now, customers are very wise. When it comes to buying or purchasing products, they would always look for the product quality, and they would even look for the different reviews before purchasing the product. And again, the company will have to make sure that the quality of their products will satisfy the customer. You know exactly that when a consumer or when a customer is not satisfied, they can easily post something against the product or the company. So because of it, it may truly affect the name of the company. So another advantage of globalization is the products have these cheaper prices. Globalization has brought in fierce competition in the markets. Communication, every single information is easily accessible from almost every corner of the world. Circulation of information is no longer a tedious task. When we say tedious, it's a long task and can happen in seconds. The internet has significantly affected the global economy, thereby providing direct access to information and products. So having internet connection and different applications like, let's say for example, Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, AliExpress, Alibaba, and etc., purchasing of products is very easy. Payment, transactions, and even product promotion can be done online. So this is the reason why companies are being more competitive. The next one is transportation. So it is considered as the wheel of every business organization. Connectivity to various parts of the world is no more a serious problem. Today, with various modes of transportation available, one can conveniently deliver the products to a customer located at any part of the world. And I guess this one is very self-explanatory. Another one is the travel and tourism. So through globalization, different places in every part of the world are being promoted through social media and different websites, and of course through the use of technology. International trade among different countries also helps in increasing the number of tourists that visit different places around the world. Okay, so we are done discussing the different advantages of globalization. Now let us proceed with the disadvantages. So the first one is health issues. Globalization has given rise to more health risks and presents new threats and challenges for epidemic, which is the dawn of HIV or AIDS. Not only this, the world is experiencing pandemic or the rampant spread of coronavirus. So this is it. We have been facing pandemic, and you actually know the country where this virus started. Of course, people are coming in and coming out of the country. So the spread of the coronavirus became rampant. Not only two countries are being affected by COVID-19, different nations have been experiencing it, even the first world countries. And of course, this greatly affects the nation's economy and even the world's economy. So another disadvantage is the loss of culture. Globalization greatly affects the culture of one nation because a large number of people are moving into and out of the country that result to the loss of identity. People may adapt to the cultural norms of the resident country and they tend to follow the foreign culture more that result to or lead to forgetting their own roots. This can give rise to cultural conflicts. The other one is the uneven wealth distribution. It is said that the rich are getting richer while the poor are getting poorer. In the real sense, globalization has not been able to reduce poverty. So why do you think this happened? So, one reason is that there are nations who have the capacity to use advanced technology and who are able to access information. And of course, they are on their way to development. But sad to say that there are also nations who lack the access to information or technology, and this will lead them to becoming poor and lead them to have this what we call slow development or slow progress. But of course, there are organizations who are trying to reach, okay, or who are trying to help these nations to develop. Another this etc., which puts a burden on the environment. And you know who exactly are the most affected by the destruction of the environment? It's the people. This is the reason why every country should have this so called sustainable development. The next one is disparity. So when we say disparity, that means inequality. So, though globalization has opened new avenues like wider markets and employment, there still exists a disparity in the development of the economies. Rich nations are moving their factories to foreign countries where there is what we call cheap labor. So, a lot of investors are building companies in the Philippines or they are investing here in the Philippines. So, why do you think so? Because our country is one of those who has cheap labor. Though it gives jobs to many, still there is an inequality or disparity. You can see in Baclaran and in Divisoria that a lot of store owners there are foreigners and most of their workers are Filipinos. So I hope this will open your mind that you can also be your own boss and can build your own business in your own country. All right, and that's the end of my lecture about globalization, its advantages and disadvantages. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. And once again, this is Ma'am Liz.